Not use the chilies. Oh, hello. Hello. If you're here, write something in the chat and say hi. That would be lovely to see you. And I'm nearly ready. So tonight I'm going to cook Mughlai chicken, which is a lovely mild, for those of you who don't like spicy food, it's a lovely mild, creamy dish. And it means it's suitable for, all the family. It's a low carbohydrate, real food cookery, and spicy green beans as a side dish as well, which have got onions and fresh tomatoes and some lovely spices in. So tonight you get, hi Lynn, hi Lou, lovely to see you both. Tonight you get the joy of watching me cut up my chicken thighs and stuff. So anyway, let's start with what's in it. So the chicken Mughlai has got, let's just do this. So obviously for my meat, for the type of chicken, I'm using chicken thighs because it's gone all dark. I never use chicken breast in these sorts of recipes. It's a personal choice, but I just think it's sort of quite dry. I just think thigh meat's much, much nicer. It's more flavourful. It doesn't dry out as much. They're cheaper to buy. What's not to like, really? So I've got skinless, boneless chicken thigh fillets. And this is, I don't know, we'll see when we cut them up. I can't see the amount. That's good, isn't it? No idea how much is in there. Isn't that rubbish? 640 grams. But, it's entirely up to you. I mean, if you're making it for smaller amounts of people, work out how many chicken thighs you want per person and do that, or have some left over. That's what I would do. How many am I cooking for? So there are 4 of us, Lynn. But you know what? When I cook, I'm really kind of pretty loose most of the time with ingredients, because what I've learned is that actually most recipes you can be, and I don't cook the sort of food where you have to be absolutely bang on with ingredients, because I'm just not that sort of cook. So and another thing that's really important is all of the recipes that I'm ever gonna sort of demo using the word in its loosest sort of way, demo on here or put on here as recipes will be simple, easy to do recipes where you can change stuff, don't have to worry too much about the quantities and things of stuff, because I think that just takes the stress out of cooking. I don't know about you. I'm not a trained cook. I don't particularly love cooking, so I want it to be easy, simple, straightforward, and quite quick. And I also want it to be super tasty. So that's what I'm hoping to show you all, and to give you some slightly new ideas. So, chicken Mughlai, chicken thigh fillets. I'm going to use coconut oil as my fat to cook in today. So another nice, robust, solid at room temperature fat. So that's a good thing to remember, really. If it's solid at room temperature, your fat, then you know that it won't damage when you're cooking with it. The other ingredients are, the recipe will be put up with the recording and it will be downloadable, but it also contains ground almonds, turmeric, garam masala, which I made. You can make garam masala. I'll put the recipe up for that too. You just need a coffee grinder and you can make your own garam masala. It smells beautiful. Flaked almonds, coriander leaf, which seems to be a bit of a Marmite thing. People either love this or hate it. If you hate it, you don't have to put it in. It's only as a garnish. Cream, creme fraiche. It's going to be delicious. Real ginger. Lots of garlic, as ever. Again, I'd say anything from 3 cloves up for this, but it'll say in the recipe. A couple of onions, don't have to be red ones. I just always use red onions because I really like them. And that, I do believe, is all of the ingredients that you need for the chicken Mughlai. And then for the beans, we've got whole tomatoes, onions, and beans and some spices and more gingers going in there. So let's start with the chicken Mughlai. So I haven't cut it up yet. So what I'm going to do, let's do it straight away. So start by putting a big old blob of this lovely, so this is the one I use. This is really expensive, this coconut butter. But so coconut butter, right, is a really great fat to cook in. It has loads, it is good for you. It's something called a medium chain triglyceride, and it contains something called lauric acid. So, you know, you can use it, you can use this. So this tub you could use as a treatment for, believe it or not, nail fungus. That's a lovely thing to talk about when you're cooking a recipe, isn't it? But nail fungus, or it's great for using as a moisturizer all over your body. You could add it to smoothies. You could make bulletproof coffee with it. You can use it in cooking. It's brilliant. Some people just recommend, taking a teaspoon a day. There are some studies that have shown that it may have a benefit in things like Alzheimer's, because your brain can use it as a fuel quite quickly. So it's a really important, versatile fat. And I believe that it's worth spending the money to get the really good quality stuff to cook in, because, you should be able to, put on your body what you would eat, and vice versa, really. So I put quite a lot of fat in there. I haven't measured it out, but there's loads, okay? Because it's all good, and we're not skimping on fats. I'm going to turn that on a low heat and get it heated up. Okay. And I'm going to start. What I'm going to start doing is just cutting up the chicken thighs into pieces. I'm just going to move this around here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to cut these chicken thighs. I always cut them up with a pair of really good kitchen scissors. Let's turn it up a little bit more. And I cut them straight into the cooking thing. And I do that because I'm a lazy cook, and because I like to save on washing up, and because it's raw meat. So basically, I think the fewer surfaces it touches on the way, then you know what, better it is, really. So I do it straight out of the packet into the pan, unless I'm marinating it. So for this recipe, what you can do is you can leave this sitting in the spices that I'm going to add to here for an hour or so before you cook it. I haven't had time to do that tonight, but it doesn't matter. It's a way to, if I'd had time, it probably would have given it a little bit extra depth of flavour. But do you know what? It probably doesn't really. It's definitely not the end of the world. If you have the time, it's a lovely thing to be able to do. If you don't, I wouldn't not make a recipe just because you can't marinate it. If anyone has got any questions, add them on there. I can only see one person showing now, so I wonder if you're both still there. I am recording this stream, so again, it will be available for people to watch after this, people who can't make it. And so I'm just cutting this into roughly the sort of size that I think we'll like. I've got a family of hungry people who like meat, so that's what I'm doing. So this was 640 grams of chicken. You see it doesn't really go that far. There we go, that's all done. So you can watch that for me while I get rid of all this dirty stuff. So the other lovely thing about using really good quality coconut butter is it smells delicious. So the smell in here already as that heats up, it's just lovely. I'm just going to leave the idea now. What we're going to do is cook the rawness out of that chicken. So we're going to cook it in the coconut oil or butter and the spices until the raw look is gone. Now we're going to add some spices. So one of my favourite spices. So this is turmeric. Just opened a new packet. This, I believe, came from TK Maxx, but I've got my turmeric from all over the place. Sometimes I've bought it. Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Lou. Still here, showing full watching at mine. How weird is that? It's just showing one on mine. Strange. Anyway, never mind. At least you can see, so that's the main thing. So turmeric. Super good for you. Amazing really amazing anti-inflammatory properties. But also, I just love the taste, and it goes so well in this sort of cooking where there's, this sort of cooking uses, lots of different kinds of spices and tastes to just, my goodness, it just makes so much more out of something quite ordinary like chicken. And when I made the other dish the other day, there's the aubergine, spinach and tomato curry. I don't know if any of you tried it, but the taste was absolutely out of this world. It was absolutely delicious. And I said when I finished cooking, I was going to have it with an egg. Actually, I just ate it on its own because it didn't need anything else. It was beautiful. Right, so I'm going to add 2 heaped teaspoons, but this is just my own personal preference, of turmeric to this dish. Okay, so when the recipe goes up, some of the amounts might be a little bit different. Okay, so let's just give that a lovely stir around. Look at the colour, beautiful. The only problem with turmeric is keep it away from any nice clothes or your fingers or anything because it is amazing. God, it would be an amazing way to dye with clothes orange. And sometimes I use fresh turmeric, which looks a little bit like ginger. And that's really great at dyeing your fingers. You end up looking like you smoke. Right, now I'm going to peel this ginger because I didn't do that before either. My son was telling me that a really great way to peel ginger is with the back of a teaspoon. And he made it look really easy. I'm a bit of a spanner when it comes to anything like this. Louise, I bet you're cringing. I didn't find it easier. I found the peeler easier. But there you go. You can try the back of a spoon. Right, so again, know that with things like ginger and garlic, I would say add them to your preference for taste. So I love ginger. It makes such a difference to the taste, so I tend to put more in quite often than it says. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly peeled either. So I don't know how big you'd say that is. That's about a 2 centimetre piece of ginger, I'd say. Okay, so next I'm going to add the garlic, crushed, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 cloves here. Not massive cloves, so that's why I did 5. Also famous for overdoing the garlic. Sometimes not to good effect. I think once I made a hummus, which just had so much garlic in it, was quite unpleasant. Okay. Let's use that knife. I can't wait to eat this. I've got hungry people upstairs waiting to actually eat this tonight. Split piece in there. Tell me if this is something that you guys make already or you fancy trying if you're watching this. Can't you just grate it whole straight in with skin on? I don't know, Lou. I've never actually done that. I bet you could. Do you do that? Yeah, that's like, you know, my kids eat kiwi skins, which I think is really weird. But, you know, maybe it's just one of those things where we've been taught that you mustn't eat the skin, and actually you could. It's a bit like, how many people do you see don't eat their stalks of broccoli? And actually, we're going to talk about that tonight, because with the coriander as a garnish, so I love coriander. And see, that's another thing. A lot of people throw that bit of garlic away. I don't. I scrape it in because it's still the garlic. So why wouldn't you use it? You know, we've got way too sort of fussy and almost afraid of lots of foods. So it's edible. Eat it. It's good for you. So that's that. Next, I'm going to grate this in using my microplane, but any old grater. Doesn't really matter again. Try not to grate my fingers in there at the same time. I love this. It's a great gadget. It's not a microplane, is it? I don't know. The most unchefy cookery demo you'll ever see in your life. Real people cooking. Okay, there's a lump left. I'm like my fingers, so I'm just going to throw the lump in. And actually, yesterday, again, when I made that recipe yesterday, a little bit of the ginger escaped being pureed up, and there was a lump. So I just ate it. You know, it's quite gingery, but again, it's really good for you. Same with broccoli stems. So apparently, and I can't tell you the details now, but apparently, broccoli stalks have different nutrients in to the top of the broccoli, that, you know, the floury part, the cruciferous part of the vegetable. And so if you throw the stalks away, not only are you wasting food, you're losing a load of kind of different nutrients that are available to you. Okay, so here we go. So that's the chicken looking lovely, and kind of all the raw looks gone. All the spices are in. The garlic, the turmeric, and the ginger at that stage are in with the lovely coconut oil. It's all mixing up together and smelling delicious, I have to tell you. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do over here again is add the onions. So 2 lovely red onions. Slice them however you like. And these aren't going to be diced, they're going to be sliced. So here we go. So another thing I find with a lot of recipes that you'll read is they tell you to, you know, pre-fry the onions, pre-brown the meat, all of this really hot cooking. And we've been told that it's to do things like to caramelize the onions because it gets out the natural sugars, or to caramelize the meat. But actually what it does is it burns the food. And, you know, you might, oh, good, Lynn. I hope you try it. It burns the food. And so although you might get some extra flavour, maybe, again, just in my humble opinion, I'm not sure it's really as necessary as we've been told it is. And again, it's definitely personal preference. So I haven't pre-fried those onions. I've just put them in there to cook now because they're going to sort of steam together, and they're going to, you know, pick up all the lovely flavours. And we're going to leave it to cook for a while anyway. So onions are in. So what I'm planning to do is get everything in there, and then I'll start cooking the beans, which is going to be our side dish to go with this. So let's just have a look at my recipe. Okay, gosh, this garam masala, I can smell it. So now I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of this delicious garam masala. I'm going to use the turmeric spoon. So 3 teaspoons of garam masala. You can buy garam masala, but I don't know, do you know? I've seen some of it you can make your own, so I thought I'd make my own. And oh God, it's lovely. It's got cinnamon and mace and coriander seed. I think it's got cumin in, and basically it's just all whooshed up in the coffee grinder. It's brilliant. If you haven't got an electric coffee grinder, I would really recommend you go get one. So that's the 3 teaspoons of garam masala in. Put that over there. So now I've done that. Then we're going to put some salt in. I'm going to put 2 heaped teaspoons of salt in there. I'm going to move this back over here so you can see how to film myself cooking. Oh, there we go. So mix all of that in. Again, there's no heat in garam masala. It's just that lovely, it's full of aromatic spices. So there's nothing spicy in here, which is great. Oh my goodness, honestly, the smell is just incredible. And do you know what? It's funny, isn't it? When you eat really tasty food, I don't know about you guys, but I'm left feeling more satisfied when I have something really tasty. And there's plenty of fat in here, and there's going to be more shortly. Okay. So now I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of double cream. I'm trying to get that yumminess off the lid. To me, I always go large with everything. If it says 4 tablespoons, it's 4 heaped tablespoons. Right, there we go. So that's 4 tablespoons of cream. Just make sure I've scraped all that off there. Yum, a scrum. Okay, I'll leave those there because there's some creme fraiche going in here in a minute. So that's the cream in. Here we go. You can see that. So that's starting to get the sort of little bits of spices and oil and stuff that were just sticking slightly to the bottom of the pan. It's not on a high heat. I've got some quite a low heat. Okay, sorry, I don't know what happened. Definitely fancy. Okay, it's on quite a low heat. Okay, yum. Okay, next, just a tiny bit of water. That's about 50 mils. Need about 120. So you're effectively making your own sauce now. Okay, so that's gone in there. You turn that heat up just ever so slightly. Okay, so now what we're going to do is pop the lid on here. and just let it simmer, which will make sure that the chicken is properly cooked through. And then when it's nearly done, what we do is add the ground almonds and the creme fraiche. And then to serve it, we're going to add the chopped fresh coriander and some flaked almonds. So now I'm going to start on the beans. I'm going to do, just move my cook around a bit. Here we go. So another lovely kind of cast iron dish for this. Turn that down. Right, so next thing with the green beans. Just checking my battery. Hello again. Okay, with the green beans, we need some more vegetable oil. So more coconut oil. So that's going in the pan. And again, just kind of a good sized chunk. And then what you need is it's just like one onion or two. I've got two little baby onions. So they are going in there. And again, they're going to be sliced, finely sliced. So my attempt at finely slicing. It's not bad. It's not bad for me. I actually sharpened my knife. Miracles do happen occasionally. Let's just check that is on. There we go. So the idea with this is what you do is you put your sliced onions in. Now we're going to soften them in the oil. Add the spices. It's going to be ginger, some chili if you like. It's optional. I'm not going to put hot chili in because I have a member of the family who doesn't enjoy very spicy food. So again, you change it to what works best for you. That's my onions. So they're going in. Then I'm going to put another bit of ginger in. I am going to peel it again. Lou, I'd be really interested. Let me know what you think about not peeling it. I just think it might give it a bit of a sort of, what's the word? I don't know. You'd have tough bits in there. Woo. There we go, nearly done. Call that garam masala. Smells absolutely amazing with chicken. Gorgeous. Right, there we go. So I'm going to grate that ginger in there. And I'm going to chop up my tomatoes. So I've got 3 lovely big ripe tomatoes which actually smell like tomatoes. So they are, and these are just kind of roughly chopped. So 1, 2, 3. There we go. These onions are sounding good. Just turned that chicken right down. So just a really nice gentle simmer while that's cooking away. There There we go, that's some roughly chopped tomatoes all ready to go in. Right, let's get this ginger grated in with the onions. To the action side of the kitchen. So looking lovely. Let's grate this in again. And the thing with this, how long have we been on here now? Been on here for half an hour. So, you know, it's not as quick to cook as the aubergine, spinach and tomato curry. But it's not long, is it really? And it's so worth it for the flavours. And, you know, using things like fresh ginger and, you know, making your own sauces and stuff, it's just so much more rewarding than buying a jar. And the taste, there's no comparison in taste. The taste of this is so much better. And the other thing I noticed, I don't know about you guys, is since I've started eating like this, my taste buds have got much more sensitive. And I find now that if I'm eating something that's been made with a sauce, I pick up flavours in there, nasty kind of chemically stuff that I never noticed before. Got all that lovely ginger in there. Yum. Not fussy. Get it in. Turn that down. Oh, look at that. Yum. It's really good. Let's just see how this chicken is doing. Beautiful, not stuck to the bottom, just all those delicious flavours are melding in beautifully. It looks absolutely delicious. And you know, because we're not going to be having this with rice, what you could do is just cook another green vegetable, something that's really good at mopping up sauces. So I would use broccoli. I actually also really like spring greens, because if you cook them well, they're really great at kind of holding on to the sauces and stuff too. So I'd use something like that. Just bulk it out a bit. Right, so the next thing we're going to add to these onions to make them taste really deliciously amazing is more turmeric. Do you know, I swear, people always say to me, oh, you've got a lovely tan, Melanie. Have you been out in the sun? It's because I eat so much of this sort of food. I'm actually just a bit orange. Oh, okay, so this time I'm just going to put in kind of like, still quite heaped, but just 1 teaspoon. And that goes. There we go. And then this one has some garam masala in too. I'm just going to put a tiny bit in this time, like half a teaspoon of garam masala in there. And some salt. So in the salt goes that big mixture, and it's gone quite dry because that's what spices often do. It's like they suck up all of the moisture. So now the tomatoes go in. So let's get all these lovely tomatoes in here and their lovely juice. It's just running off the chopping board. There we go. Just this because those handles are a bit hot. Can you see that? So, oh, it smells good. So what we're going to do now is cook that down a bit, the tomatoes down a bit. And then what you do is you add in the green beans. So the green beans aren't pre-cooked. The green beans cook in here. when the tomatoes have sort of cooked down to a bit of a smush. It's my best term. So just turn that right up, give it some heat, pop the lid on, and wait for that to do. So the next thing we're going to do while we're waiting is cut up the coriander. So I was shown years ago, don't know if either of you ever do this, it's a great trick for cutting up fresh green herbs. It's really brilliant. So here we go, I've just got a 25-gram bag of coriander and a mug. And this is another thing, quite often I see that, I mean, this isn't in a bunch, so sometimes you'll have sort of quite woody stems, but I tend to cut those up and put them in too. I just stuff all of it into the mug, really stuff it in, like that. I absolutely love coriander. Delicious. And then get the scissors, put them in the mug, and just cut them up. And it stops it making a mess. And it's all cut up nice and tidily, and you can see it all. What a good idea, eh? There you go. That's the finished thing. Coriander's all cut up and ready to go on when it's all finished. So next thing, let's have a look at this lovely chickeny dish. So I'm going to take the lid off now. Oh, it's not hot at all. And I'm going to add ground almonds. On my tablespoon, so 2 tablespoons of just normal old ground almonds, and that starts to thicken the sauce. Also gives it lovely flavour. I've done superheat tablespoons again. You know, measurements are not absolutely essential that you get them right. And I'm using 300 grams of full fat creme fraiche, which is going in here as well. So stir those ground almonds in first. I've got this down on its lowest heat at the moment. Okay, and here people are waiting upstairs. They're hungry for their dinner. A whole tub of creme fraiche goes in there now. And the great thing about this is, you know, it all kind of works together. So while you're waiting for the chicken to just do its little bit of cooking, before you add the ground almonds and the creme fraiche at the end, you can be, you know, getting your other vegetables on. I am going to cook 2 bags of green beans. As a family, we all really, really love green beans. These sorts of beans. That's what I mean. Very often we'll eat a bag each. So we are green bean fans. Let's just show you this. Okay, so that is really live. It's just all changed completely now. It's got that in. Just stir through that creme fraiche, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's worth tasting it just to see if you've got your seasoning right. Maybe you might need a little bit of extra salt. Maybe it's just perfect already. So I'm going to have a little taste now. That's very nice. I'm actually going to put some more salt in there. So the thing with salt is do it to your own taste. We're all different. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that there on the tiniest, gentlest simmer and see what's happening in here. Oh, exciting things. So here we go. This is the lovely, oh my goodness, that is so good. So you know when I said the tomatoes are going to smash down? That is what they look like now. Okay, all beautiful and cooked down. So now these green beans are going in there. And they go. Already prepared with the ends chopped off. I don't know about you, but I don't chop both ends off my green beans. I just chop off the one end. Mix it round, so right down there in the juicy, lovely tomato stuff. Put it back on, get them cooking. There we go. Right, so what do you all think so far? Are you both there still, or have you given up on it? Let's get a plate ready to put this on. Okay. Oh, yummer scrummer. Look, your dinner's ready. Ooh. Okay, guys. Looks delicious, and I like the idea of beans as a side too. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so do you want to come try some, Joseph? If I put some on a tiny plate, you can do taste test for me. There we go. Let's just get you a bit of chicken. There we go. It's going to be really, really hot. So there you go. Try that little bit. There's a spoon. Tell me what you think. Super hot. Careful. Stop telling my nearly 18-year-old son to blow his food. Blow on your food. See how these are doing. Is it all right?
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Right, so the beans are meant to take sort of roughly 10 minutes. Okay. And so just because I don't want to keep you waiting here any more than I have to, what I'm going to do is start dishing it up. So here we go. So you can see what it looks like when it comes out and it's cooked. So here we go. Let's how am I going to do that? Just carry it that way. So I drop on the floor. There we are. That's the chicken Mughlai. Thanks, Lucy. Here we go. So, oh, yummy. Here we are. Such an amazing colour. So I've got to be honest, I think probably, especially for us, I'd have cooked an extra vegetable. Because for 4 of us, there's not going to be that many. Then I'm going to sprinkle some almonds on there. Toasted flaked almonds, these are. Just to sprinkle it on. And then I'm going to put a bit of lovely chopped coriander on the top. Here we are. And then, let's put this back over here. Just grab some of these beans. So let's Here we go. If you can see these, they look good. Yum. Those beans probably need a wee bit longer, but what do you think? You can try with me. Careful again, because they'll be hot. Bit crunchy still? Yeah. So those beans probably need about an extra 3 minutes. But for the benefit of this, I'm going to just pop some on this plate. Do you quite like them crunchy?
How delicate.
Here we go. And that sauce just looks amazing. There you go. Let's get some nice tomato sauce on there. I'll probably have this one. I like crunchy beans. And there we are. That is the finished plate. So you've got chicken Mughlai and spicy green beans. Thank you so much for staying and watching this, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed that and that you feel like you'd give it a go. Really easy. So it's taken me 46 minutes. But yeah, really easy and hopefully super delicious. See you soon. Bye.